Welcome to Wind Down with Kev, a weekly podcast with Kevin Spann, the insurance guru. Each week, listen to Kevin discuss current hot topics with community leaders, business owners, and more.
Welcome to episode 7 of Wind Down with Kev. My name is Kevin Spann. I'm your host for the evening. I am Kevin Spann, the insurance guru. Kevin Spann, the all-state agent. Kevin Spann coming to you tonight in my alter ego as the podcast host. And I'm joined by my wonderful guest this evening, Miss Vanessa Senior. Vanessa, how you doing this evening?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Vanessa, I'm going to let you introduce yourself to the people in a minute. But before we get into the business, tell me what's in your glass.
My famous rum punch.
All right. What's in that famous rum punch?
So in the famous rum punch, I have an assortment of different liquors, rums, other liquors. I have juices and I have spices from the island of Barbados.
Beautiful. Well, I wish I had one of your rum punches. Tonight, I'm just drinking a little bit of mimosa. I made one for my wife earlier, simple mimosa, a little bit of champagne, a little bit of orange juice, real easy drink to make by yourself. But anybody that's listening, definitely, Vanessa's rum punch is special. Very special.
Yeah.
Vanessa, tell the people a little bit about yourself. Tell them who you are, what you do, a little bit about yourself, whatever you want to share.
Okay, right now I'm a reading specialist. I've been teaching for 27 years. I started in the city. I'm in Nassau County. On the side, I do a host of things. I actually, my husband's a banker and a DJ, so part-time we do a lot of hosting of events, and I wanted to make one of my drinks. And people like, you have to get it out. So I pretty much bottled it on my own, but I'm waiting, eventually to get it bottled to a distillery. But in the meantime, I'll show you the sizes that I have. This has been a big seller this summer. Because we're going through the quarantine, I can't really get my bottles as I would like. I switched to this size.
Okay.
So a lot of people are interested and they ask for that one. And then the typical size is this size.
Ooh, that's a big one.
That's the leader.
That's a big one. Whoa. We
also have gallon. I do gallon size. That's for people who just want to sip. Like, they make it a ritual for themselves. They say that helps them to sleep better. Some people say it helps them to relax. It's a nice flavor where it's not too sweet, not too strong. So at first, this lady, she said, what did she sell me? What did she sell me? This is... And then she said, as a night one, she's like, ooh, like it. Because it's not a strong drink, but it's flavorful. I maybe have about at least 8 to 10 ingredients to make it even everything out.
Okay.
Not just syrup and one juice and then strong rum. It's a medley.
Okay.
So with the medley, people actually like the flavor. Because I was doing it for our family, for myself. I'm not doing it just to it out. I was doing it because I knew what it would take inside of it to make people enjoy it, and it just became a crowd favorite when my family and friends asked me to get it out. So
that's what it's all about. If your family and friends love it, that means it's good.
Yeah, they encouraged me. One of them was like, "I'll be your first customer," just to try and see. But then again, as life goes on, things change, and during the pandemic, I have a doctor who's also my friend, Dr. Michelle Reed. She's done her own podcast, video story. She's very well known in Nassau County. She experienced COVID and she did a whole video journey. And I actually make teas as well. And she ordered the teas from me and they help with respiratory. So I actually do. I'm going to show you. I bottle these as well. So I have ginger tea. It's freshly brewed. I just made it because someone put in an order. I do the turmeric teas as well. Nice. It's a little browner in color because it's a more of an orangey root. And I do garlic as well.
Nice.
Tea. Now with these, because I'm doing everything from the heart, just give me a donation. I brew it at home, I bottle it. But she and her husband use it, and he never experienced I don't think he ever tested positive. She did, but they were able to get through it because what these are good for are respiratory ailments, and they're anti-inflammatory. They have antioxidant, aspects to them that helps to make sure that if you are sick, you don't get worse.
Well, that's a beautiful thing that you tapped into that creativity at this time. what I'm trying to do with the podcast, Vanessa, is talk to all people that are being creative, because we need that creativity right now. We need all sorts of solutions. So before I go too far, say what's up to your wonderful husband, DJ Bango. Had pleasure meeting him. So please tell him what's up. But
Yeah.
Definitely during a time like this, you started with the rum. So anybody that can't travel this year because of the pandemic, but you still have a taste of the islands, you want a taste of Barbados, you want to stay safe, you want to stay home, and you want to enjoy your
Right.
family and your friends that you're willing to let in. This is a wonderful way to do it, and stay safe and stay home, and have to enjoy a little bit of a mixed beverage, since it doesn't look like we're going to be able to go back out to restaurants and eat
Right.
indoors for a little while. So why not do it from the safety of your home? Definitely, me being an insurance agent, I'm always going to
Right.
promote people drinking wise, drinking smart, staying home and staying safe. So
It's true.
all of that just makes sense. I'm going to go backwards, and then we're going to go forwards. I'm going to go backwards. You've been teaching for 27 years.
Yeah.
You're a reading specialist.
Yeah.
Middle of March comes and everything shuts down. What was
Yeah.
that transition like for you from normally being in the classroom teaching kids to have to switch and now teach through everything else? Talk to us about that.
Well, it was difficult for me because my students need help with remediation in terms of their reading skills. So for me, it's better to be in the company of a child, actually to work with them one-on-one, or to, to provide assistance visually and physically, because remote learning for them is what it is, remote. So a
I
lot of
got you.
them are threatened maybe by the use of a computer because their skills may not have aptitude in order to use it independently. I made a lot of phone calls. I spoke to students personally. Those who were, equipped a little more strong in their skill set, they did a little bit more than the ones who need more assistance. Spoke to parents. We were able to make it work. Most of them tried. We would email. We use all forms of communication. Texting. I got a Google phone number. We use Teams platform, so I did the chat feature because a lot of children do chat. So instead of calling, because some may not have Wi-Fi, which was another case.
Absolutely.
Devices, which was another issue, or they got the devices at a later time. I reached out to all 125.
Nice.
It was a challenge, but if they did one thing, they definitely would not fail. If they showed up for the first, second, and third quarter, because we left in the middle of the third quarter, there was no way I would ever, fail a child. Now, if the child never showed up, that means that they may not be in the class, so I can't give them, a grade if they were never there. But the transition was challenging because of the communication aspect, not being able to get in touch with them. And, a lot of them didn't understand what was going on. All they want to know is when we're going back to school. I mean, it's a middle school setting, so they can work independently, but because of the challenges they have with reading, some of them, it's like a hindrance not to be in the classroom with the teacher.
Absolutely. They don't get all of the nonverbal aids that you can give them to support them, simply to smile at them and encourage them.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
just looking at you, looking at the look in your eye, I can tell the passion you have for your students. I can tell the passion and all the effort you went through to communicate with all the parents by any means necessary to make sure that they had a shot. And I think effort matters, because no one was prepared for this, whether you were fully equipped with all of the technology in the world, with the best Wi-Fi, or if you had none. It caught everybody by surprise. So thank God for your school district that has you to really have the students back, and to recognize effort, to recognize the efforts of parents. As a parent, it was a monster. So definitely appreciate teachers like you that care.
Thank you.
Now, definitely. Okay, so let's come back forward into our conversation. I met you a few months ago, earlier this year. We both were at Dre's House radio show. Your husband was on the ones and two. DJ Bango was DJing. Just as a courtesy, you bought some of your rum punch, and that was nice. I definitely had a chance to enjoy that. Brought it home to the missus. She enjoyed it.
Good.
And I reached out to you to talk about that. But what you're doing with the tea is amazing. It's amazing. I think this pandemic tapped into a lot of people's creativity to find what can I do to help. So talk to me again about your inspiration for the tea.
Well, my inspiration came where I drink it regularly. If I feel something, because I suffer from sinuses and allergies.
Okay.
sometimes you can't tell the difference between an allergy and a cold. And I don't even know if all of us maybe had a touch of this COVID-19 at some point, because January, you feel something, you go to City MD and they're like, okay, they gave the flu test, is not that. Said it's viral, but I take my usual teas and do other things, nasal sprays, Zyrtec, and it got rid of it. But to keep the respiratory and these infections at bay, garlic is excellent. It's not pleasant to the taste, but ginger is. So we grew up on ginger tea. My husband's family's Jamaican, my family's Barbadian. So you get the fresh ginger. We don't get powdered ginger.
Got it.
Actually, there's some of it inside the teas that I make, the root. So you get the root and you would peel it, but I'll pound it with a mortar and pestle. That's that wooden.
Nice, the real thing.
So grind it out and then add boiling water. Now there's degrees to it. It could be light like this, or it could be super dark depending on how long you brew it. Because some people's stomach might be sensitive, like mine, I would never do it too dark, but you can and then add water. But I do it to a certain degree where I can tell that it's fine. And I do it for myself. Now the turmeric is good because it has anti-inflammatory properties. And they use them together. So I just do it on my own, but then when my doctor, she's the doctor for a school district, and she came down with the symptoms. She called me too. She's like, oh, I'm not sure if I have, lost of sense, typical symptoms, loss of sense of taste and smell, I have a headache and I'm tired. And I'm like, all right. She went on, she had it. She wound up testing positive, and it really took her down for a long time. But I told her, listen, I have these teas. I'm just going to give it to you. And I would make large containers. I'm in the kitchen all morning because then you have to wait for it to cool. And I would drop it off. I would do drive-by because at that point, we're not allowed to have any contact.
Of course.
But then they were going through it pretty quickly. I was like, how are you able to drink this stuff because it's potent? But she consumed a lot. Her husband did, and they're fine. So I was like, you know what? This is great. So I said, you know what? Let's see who else needs it. So, I put a posting, as I'm doing the tea, get creative with, I might have, like I have it here, like a teacup, put that out, show how it's brewed, show the actual root, and then, other people start to say, hey, let me try it. And I don't, not want anything, they're how much. I'm like, give a donation because it's, it's tea. But I have a friend in Pennsylvania recently, about 3 weeks ago. She's like, can you send me some? And I said, yes. And then she put me onto a friend in Texas. So I'm sending it to Texas.
So,
then Facebook me, Georgia, now Georgia. My daughter's friend, she's like, I had it. So now I'm sending it to
her. So now you going national from something you did from your heart, from the goodness of your heart. Now you going national, and that tells you the demand for your products and services. So one of the things that I hear when you're talking about this, you're really tapping into some ancestral knowledge that you and your family received from the islands, and you're bringing it forth to this fast-paced country. Talk to me about who that person is in your family that passed that knowledge on to you that you're sharing with others.
It's interesting because I'm actually a breast cancer survivor.
Okay.
I went to Barbados. My cousins, all right, so this doesn't really run too rampant in the family, not on my father's side at all. But they told me growing up, my grandmother would give them these herbs. So they don't have anything. They ain't got nothing. They ain't got no blood pressure. They don't have diabetes. None of my cousins that are my age, they don't have anything. My father's family, all they have is arthritis, which is
got it. Normal aches and pains, but none of the things that attack our system.
No, they don't. So I inquired my cousins, grandmother, and I said, well, what was it? She said, back then they couldn't get tea bags.
Right.
So they can't get tea bags. They just went in the backyard and took off the tea. They took their tea bags off the tree in the backyard. And she explained what they were. So that wasn't something I thought about. I just knew that this is something that we always do. We never go in the store and buy the actual tea bag. We get the root. That's my father's side friend. My mother's side, same thing. But my mother's side may have a little bit more going on, but not my father's side. So they knew. My father told me to grow up on bush tea. So he knew exactly what to use for what ailment. So it came down from the grandmothers, maternal and paternal.
That's beautiful ancestral knowledge. Some people don't know some of the quiet contributions we've made to the history of this country, from the islands, everybody from any part of the African diaspora. we were credited during slavery with healing things like polio by giving the way to fight these things. And ultimately, the way to fight the virus is going to turn out to be possibly not a doctor or sell insurance, but as you give someone the disease, your body develops an immunity to it and it fights back. So thank God for you, your knowledge, everybody you've helped so far, and everybody that's listening, that's thinking about it. Follow Vanessa at 2 places. Talk to you about both of your places, where you are online and where people can follow you and get in touch with people.
Okay, V on Instagram, VES Wellness Teas, WELLNESSTEAS. That would be the best way to DM me there, or V Mixer, which is a fun page.
Okay.
I'm doing cooking now also. My God, I forgot about the cooking. I'm making soul food and people are coming every week. And my friend texts me, she's like, you know what? You are helping us who don't like, who just not, they don't want to cook.
It's a combination of not only not wanting to cook. We are, and I say we because it's my wife and I, we both in the kitchen, we both doing what we can do, but we've been married for 34 years and we also date very heavily. And our dating of each other, our ability to go out has been taken away. So to replace that date, sometimes it's good to order food in, just to get a meal catered for the day or for the weekend, to give both ourselves a break and to taste a different flavor. We're used to it. It's a part of it. Going out is very natural. And if we're not going to be able to go out for a while, definitely want people to talk to you. So, V, this is real easy for me. Talking about food and drinks are 2 of my favorite subjects. It's 2 things that we have to do. I love to eat. I'm not a big drinker. I'm a wine sipper, but I like variety. It's just a part of living where we live and having so many ethnic flavors and foods and varieties to choose from. You want to tap into it. No matter what you cook at home, I promise you, everybody got tired of it and they wanted to do something else. So let's talk about your food a little bit. I seen the jerk wings. I seen the other wings. I seen the mac and cheese. Talk to me about what you do.
All right. So my daughters go to high school, just graduated from high school. So the kids will always ask. So I do the jerk wings, I do the mac and cheese, and everyone likes it. Again, I always gotta go hard with the seasonings. Can't help it. So I always put a little bit more than everyone else, but that's just how I cook. So they like it. But some told me, you know what? There's no summer school opportunity, right? So this is the time now for you to get, a little extra income. There is no opportunity. So I said, why not just make plates? And I just started with offering 3 flavors of wings, usually jerk, barbecue, sweet chili. And then the side would be mac and cheese, candy yams, and seasoned kale or seasoned.
Wow.
So
hold on for a second. Hold on. I've seen some. I haven't seen all the sides and the options. Let's run that back for the people in the back that wasn't paying attention. If I heard it right, I can repeat it perfectly. So I heard jerk wings, check.
Yeah.
Barbecue wings, check.
Yeah.
I heard sweet chili, check. I heard mac and cheese, candy yams, and seasoned kale.
Yeah.
Oh,
collard greens. Sometimes you can't get the kale, but you get collard greens. But I like the kale. What happened was I had a mistake during Thanksgiving. I went to the supermarket too late, couldn't get collard greens. So I wound up doing kales with the collard greens recipe I have. And it was such a hit. Everyone's like, just make the kale. So I've been serving that. And I have friends and family who are vegan and they love it. They're like, just make me a pan. It's a big hit. I ran out the other day by mistake. I forgot someone's order. And he did a complete 360. Lord, he's going to cry.
Yeah.
So yesterday I had to make a pan and it came out really nice. Use the smoked turkey. I have a whole thing that I do. But you let the pot liquor brew for an hour before you even put the greens in.
Nice. You said the pot liquor.
That's something. I went to Texas to what's it called? Frenchies down in the 5th Ward.
Okay.
They make that. It was good.
They do it right down there, huh?
Pot liquor. You do that first. So you stew it. Make the stew first, and then you add the greens and let that cook for another hour. So it's a 2-hour process. I don't know how anybody else makes it. That's how I make it. So people like it, and I'm doing that not every week because it takes a toll on me. It's a lot of work. Maybe every other week, but it's on a Friday. I was doing Friday and Saturday, but now it's Fridays because it's getting a little busy here. My personal life with the kids, socially, with them getting ready to go off to school. And it's when she was graduating this year, so she didn't have a prom graduation or anything. So trying to do other things for her. But yeah, I do that on weekends.
I definitely understand. My goddaughter was supposed to graduate this year, so we tried to make up for that by doing other things. Not an easy time to graduate, but I'll tell anybody that anyone that graduated in 2020, they're part of the most unforgettable graduating class this country's ever seen. And fast forward when they enter the job market, or if they become entrepreneurs, if they follow after your footsteps or my footsteps, anyone that interviews them will say, you are a part of the class of 2020. I already know you're special because you've learned how to handle adversity, you've learned how to adapt to change, and you've learned how to communicate in a variety of ways. And the truth of the matter is, that is the meaning of life, and you've been fast forwarded to this digital age in a way that none of us have ever been forced to participate before.
It's true. Yeah. And that one's going to Howard. It's Bison. So
she's going to Howard. Let's go. Let's go. So how is that looking for September? Does it look like all systems go?
They're going to do a hybrid model. So basically some online, some in person. I think DC is a little better than my other daughter's going to A&T, North Carolina A&T.
I know it well.
She Aggie pride. She wants to go down there. North Carolina right now is a hot spot. Greensboro, where the school is located, is a hot spot. It's not looking too good for her. And she was going to go into an apartment style housing this year. None of her roommates are going back. They're from North Carolina, so they're going to do more commuting online. So the issue is for them, I don't know how she would manage down there by herself. The closest family member we have is Charlotte. It's an hour and a half away.
That's pretty far from Greensboro. I'm very familiar with North Carolina.
Yeah, we have some in I saw a place called, they're 45 minutes away. Salisbury? Yeah.
Yep, Salisbury, North Carolina is another part. Definitely another part. So both daughters, HBCU. Is that what school? Did you go HBCU as well?
No, I went to CUNY. I went to Queens College.
Okay. Beautiful. But both daughters.
My parents weren't so nice. Not generous.
They did
local.
Well.
We're nice. Like, all right, you want to go and got student loans because, out of state, but I let them go because they really want to become an HBCU community. I think is, a good experience, and they love the idea of it. They love it. Amina loves the North Carolina A&T campus, loves the pride and loves the embodiment of, her heritage and everyone giving her support. The school loves, they give back to the school. To alumni is absolutely wonderful.
Yeah. That HBCU experience is different. I went to school here in New York where I'm from, but my family and friends that went to HBCUs, for example, my sister-in-laws, I was in North Carolina in March, right before everything shut down for their 60th birthday party, and all their classmates, they're together all the time, 24/7, nonstop. They go back to the CIAA tournament, they go to alumni games, they do everything together, and it's more than a school experience. They become family. So congratulations.
It's a different vibe from here. I try to understand it because most of our families up here, but we do have family down. I do have family in North Carolina, so I will have to go and spend more time to get that vibe. But yeah, it's a pride. It's definitely family and pride down in the South.
Definitely. Well, all the best with them and going to school whenever the time is right that they can go back to school. I hope they're able to go back safely, prayerfully. Over time, we'll have some solutions for this, and sometime in 2021, I don't use words like going back to normal, but we'll be well adjusted to the new normal. So, coming back to the top of our conversation, anybody that's joining us, watching this video a little bit later, we began real early talking about your wellness teas, your rum punch, but more importantly about your wellness teas. Anybody, any part of the country that is looking to build up their immune system before you get hit with the COVID, talk to Vanessa about it. Find her on IG. Find her at V Wellness Teas. Find her at Bees with an S at Wellness Teas, and start building up your system with the turmeric, with the garlic, with everything you need. All of these herbs. This is natural knowledge that we had when we came. It's gotten away from us, but we definitely need to get back to it so people can can heal a little bit better. V, is there anything I should have asked you about to share with the people that you thought I would ask that you want them to know so they can know a little bit more about you?
No, I just love life, enjoy life. I always think positive. My mother's calling me every minute, watch these COVID videos, these people forwarding on WhatsApp. I told her, listen, health is a mentality. If your mind is telling you you're well, you're well. You keep filling your mind with negativity. I have people in my family who are doctors and nurses. They're around it all day. I mean, they're being careful and being safe, but if you consume this information, negative information about other people's situation, eventually you're going to catch up to you. So everyone I know enjoys life. I surround myself with people who love life, just love the positive aspect of life and do things that bring positivity and happiness. So I would tell everyone, just keep on, keeping on, keep pushing on, even if you feel symptomatic, tell yourself that you're well and just embody, well principles, whatever it does, whatever you do to make yourself stay happy. That's what I think. Happiness is the best thing we have right now.
No, I definitely
worry about what everyone else is doing. I gotta worry about my kids, my future. Excuse me. I guess someone's telling me to be quiet.
No problem. Catch your breath. And I agree with you 100%. Yeah. Health is wealth. It's all that matters. I post for 3 reasons. I post things to inspire, to stay positive. I post information to help people, and I post about my business insurance. But the podcast I don't do for me. I do it so that people can get to know you, to get to like you, and then do business with you. So certainly I want to thank you for joining me on this podcast. Anyone that listens to it, they should know a little bit more about you, more about what you've done professionally, how you engage your students to help them through this difficult time. Definitely, you shared a lot of knowledge about your teas, about your food, and all the good things that you're doing. And definitely, my outcome, my hope is that they'll choose to do business with you. Follow her on IG. Is IG the primary place that they catch you? Do you have a presence?
I'm on Facebook as well.
Okay.
On Facebook, it's V Senior. My name. VEEV and then space Senior.
Okay.
On Facebook as well, so they can. But more so, I love IG, Instagram.
Definitely, I'm definitely. I was heavy on Facebook. I'm getting better at IG as time goes on. But thank you very much for taking time away from your family, joining me and doing this podcast. All good things to you, and we definitely will be in touch.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. This is Kevin Spann, the Insurance Guru, signing out from Wind Down with Kev.
Thank you for tuning in to Wind Down with Kev. You can find Kevin Spann, the Insurance Guru, on Facebook at AKS Insurance, Instagram at KevinSpann_Insurance Guru, and on Twitter at Kevin Spann Guru. Have a topic you would like to discuss or a guest you would like to see on the show? Send Kevin an email at kevinspann@allstate.com.